This is a story about control. My control.
This is a story about corpse control. My corpse control. Control of what I say, control of what I do, and this time I'm gonna do it my way. That's a Janet Jackson reference. You young people who only know the Ariana Grandes, respect your elders. This video actually is about corpse control, not false advertising. Specifically, how much control you have over your dead if you keep them at home and have a home funeral versus keeping them at a funeral home, crematory, or other death business. You know, I want you to be involved with caring for your dead. Like, that's my entire reason for being, is getting people to hang out with dead bodies. But that kind of involvement looks different for everyone. I don't want you to feel like there's a one-size-fits-all way to do it. More importantly, I want you to understand how to work with funeral homes to achieve what you want. You should know your rights over the dead body, but also understand that funeral homes have rights as a private business. Let's start with home funerals. Home funerals. In this scenario, you have full access to the body. It helps if the person actually dies at home, say under hospice care, but if they die in a nursing home or hospital, you can still bring them back home. Oh yes, you can. Here's an important tip. Make sure the person is supposed to be dead. If they die at home and it's an expected death, a hospice nurse or doctor will declare the death. If the person is 45 years old and keels over while ordering a pizza, call the police. You have to. The police will report the death to the coroner. Don't go straight into the magical home funeral without notifying the authorities, or it goes from beautiful ritual to concealment of a crime real quick. Alright, so you have your dead person at home. You can wash and dress the body and spend as much or as little time with the body as you want. There's no right or wrong way to have a home funeral. Friends and family can visit or not visit. Everyone can sing or not sing. It's round the clock, full access to your dead body for 2 hours or 2 days. You have corpse control. Control! In some US states, you're required to have a funeral director partially involved with some random thing, like transportation, filing death certificates, or supervision, whatever that means. But even in those states, you're allowed to have that home funeral. Bonus, a home funeral means you're paying for far fewer services. It has the potential to cost almost nothing, while an embalmed viewing at a funeral home can be thousands of dollars. Control! Funeral home. Honestly, if my grandma died, all my grandparents are dead. I don't know who this extra grandma is, but anyway. I'd want a home funeral, but I'd definitely also hire a funeral home for filing death certificates, liaising with the crematory or cemetery, transportation, etc. That stuff is hard to do on your own, especially in big cities. I know, that's what we do at our funeral home. It's hard for us, and we do it every day. If for whatever reason you decide not to have a home funeral, you can have a funeral home you trust take your grandma's body and prepare it for viewing. But the difference is, when you decide to work with a funeral home, you indeed have to work with a funeral home. To be clear, you do have rights. Rights like choosing not to have your grandma embalmed, not buying an expensive sealed metal casket, the right to view your grandmother's body no matter what condition it's in. Control! That being said, when you enter into an agreement with a funeral home and entrust your grandma to their care, relieve yourself of primary responsibility of her body, then you have to realize you are also relieving yourself of unfettered 24-hour access to grandma's corpse. You do not have access to a body at a funeral home anytime you want. There seems to be some confusion on this point. My team at the funeral home have definitely fielded questions from people in other states or parts of the world who are irate over the fact that a funeral home won't let them see their grandma's corpse at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, and if they do, they want to charge a fee.
I've watched Caitlin on YouTube, so I know you have to let me in to see my grandma anytime I want, and you can't charge me because I could do it myself. Caitlin said.
No. Caitlin did not say that. You misunderstood the Caitlin. Is this why funeral directors don't like me?
Here's the deal. Yes, you retain legal control of what happens to a body, even if it's at a funeral home. However, you are also working with a business, and that business has business hours and other clients besides you. Okay, for example, say you want to be there to witness the cremation and watch Grandma be loaded into the cremation machine and push the button. Normally, our crematory is firing on all cylinders. Multiple machines are in use. We're removing bodies from the refrigeration unit to check for pacemakers and identification. Cremated remains are being processed. Like, stuff is happening. But if your family comes in to witness the cremation, all that activity stops. Everything is put away, other machines are turned off, the full focus is on your family and Grandma. So yes, unfortunately, we do have to charge you for that. The same thing goes with a viewing. I talked about this in my first book. People would show up without calling, wanting to see Mom one last time. They didn't understand that taking Mom out, cleaning her up, reserving the viewing room, having an employee there to take care of you, all these things require scheduling and time and resources. Don't come to a funeral home expecting a villainous funeral director foaming at the mouth to secretly embalm your grandma against your wishes. Most funeral homes do want to work with you and make you happy. Calmly discuss the things you do want and how you want to be involved. So many more families want this now, and it's fantastic to hear stories about how funeral directors go, "Oh, okay, sure, no problem." Excellent. Control. Whether you go home funeral or funeral home, there are experts to help you. I'll link some information to this video. What other questions do you have about DIY versus more traditional death care? Do you have questions about your rights and choices when it comes to funerals and burials? Ask us in the comments and we'll try and answer in a future video. Control! This video was made with generous donations from death enthusiasts just like you. Caitlin said, respect your elders. Control! 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 Alright, it's getting hot. And I got another video to film, tell you what.